Welcome back. So in today's video is going to be short and we're just going to work on adding this layout, and we suggest to build from this layout and in more other videos. So you can see we have appointments page, and appointments we have this header showing the appointments and the number of appointments, and then we have the scroll area. Nice. And then you have here the card for adding any appointment or here. And then when you click in this appointment, you go to the detailed page. Okay. So this is only what you're just going to add in this video, and we are going to look at how we are going to come up with this one. So if you want to work this with me, let's jump in. Hello, welcome back. So in our previous episode, we looked at coming up with this dashboard, and we also finished up with the onboarding form. We went ahead and laid out our first dashboard layout, and this is what we came up with. So in today's video, we are going to implement this modern looking layout into our app, and we see how we can just use this. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and start with appointments. So I will just go in these components, and I will just create a new folder called uh, maybe. So we already have a dashboard, but then in the dashboard, I'm just going to put in a doctor. I'm just going to call here doctor, and then inside this doctor, I'm just going to put in, for instance, the start, which is going to be, for instance, appointments. Okay, so we're trying to build out this. Okay, so if you look at this, there is the header, this header which is on the appointments, and I think uh, uh, most of them here on this, they are using they also use the same, almost the same header. And I think when it reaches this side down, it sort of like changes. Okay, because I think it's just because you can't add like a patient. Can't you add a patient? You can. You should be able to add a patient just in case they visit the place. You should be able to add patients also. So just going to maintain the same layout. Okay. We're just going to, for simplicity, we are going to maintain the same. So as you can see, these tasks, we just maintain the same layout like this one. Okay. So in other words, when you go to appointments here on the page, it is divided into one. It has the header. So we have the header. Then we have now the two panels. Okay. So we have two panels. Sorry. We have two panels. Okay. Two panels. So one is containing the list, and this other panel, the display panel. So we're just going to call this list panel and the display panel. So we're going to have two panels, the list panel, and then we also have the display panel. Display panel. Okay, so we have those two panels and the header. So you have to work on one by one. So I'm just going to say, for instance, so this header is going to be used all over, and it should just be taking in. If we make it in such a way that it takes in, for instance, the appointments, and then it has this two buttons, like this, changing the display. In the future, we shall see what we can do with this. But we could just make this one also like to have, you know, to be dynamic. And that's what you're just going to do. So just going to call this, uh, I'm just going to call it maybe what? Uh, uh, and for some reason, it also has this, uh, it has this header. I don't think it is necessary. It is not. So I'm just going to have this. I'm just going to have this. I'm just going to have this. Okay, as the header. So let's just go and design in one in the doctor. I'm just going to say here panel header dot tsx rfc. So if you look at this panel header, it has a border down. So just going to go ahead and start giving it some styles. So it has a py like of 3, px just say 6, and inside here it also has a border bottom. So just say border bottom, and you can just say border gray 200, and then inside we have on the left and on the right. So on the left, just going to copy this. Okay, so we have an icon. So I'm just going to start with the left side, which has an icon. So for instance, calendar maybe, and then it has this icon, then it has a text. Just a span appointments, and then it also has this another span which says 11. Okay, and then on the other side we have also flex, and by the way even this one is flex. Okay, so we have flex, and then we have two buttons. Okay, we have two buttons, the display button and the appointment button. So let me just go ahead and just say we have the button. Just going to use the button. You can't be kidding. We don't have a button. Button from components UI buttons. And then you're just going to have this one is called what? It's cool. So you can just say add an icon. For instance, for this we're just going to add, but just going to have also a plus icon. So plus, and then down here I'm just going to go ahead and put, for instance, new appointment. In fact, or you can put this as a span, I guess. We'll just say new appointment. Okay, so there is another one. So there are two buttons. This other one says display. You can change the display, and I just go to Lucid. Lucid. So we used the calendar. I don't know how the calendar looks like. Yeah, it looks great. Then we want the one for maybe align. Is it on align or something? How about layout? Is this, which is columns maybe or something? Layout. Yeah, maybe we can just use one of these for the layout. Mm, yeah, so I'm just going to add one of these ones. I'm just going to use one of these ones, I guess. Align horizontal distributor. Let me see. This is center. Okay. So now let's just go ahead and first of all, even this has to be flex. So let's say flex items center and justify between. Okay. For these ones, just have items center and just say have uh maybe gap of one. Okay, so for this one, we just also get to use a class name, bg white, width of maybe 6, height of 6, rounded full. Okay, so flex items center and justify of course center, and then shadow, so just shadow sm. Okay, now I just go ahead and get this panel into the dashboard. So yes, here we have this panel header. That's panel header. Okay, just like that. And if we just go here, check. Okay, so we have the panel header looking great. Okay, we have the panel header looking great. So now just a few things we just need to add or to change in the panel header. So first, I'm just going to change this one to 2. Okay. Then another one is this. I will use the text SM. So they really have like really big things. Now, equivalently for the icon, so this icon here should have a class. So width is 4, height is 4, and you can also have flex settings 0 on this. Okay, to look great. And then now we have the buttons. So the buttons, we're just going to simplify this. Okay. And if you're here, we should just add a border. And this one might just have text extra small, maybe. Now for these buttons, we're just going to use, just give it, first of all, we just give them a variant of outline. Okay. And then for these icons class, we're just going to give these ones width of 4, height 4. I'm just going to do this for also this plus icon. Okay. The same thing with this. I don't know if this new appointment needs to have so items center, and let's give them a gap. Okay. And let's have also reduce the text. So on this, I'm just going to give a class name text is similarly on this text SM. I don't know how this one just looks like. It doesn't feel like you can change the font. Now to the icon, I'm just going also to give it margin right of 2, even this margin right of 2. Okay, so the header is now okay. You can add a new appointment. Now in the future, these are going to be links, or they can be button depending on what we choose to do. Okay, now for display, I don't think we're just going to really handle the display in the future. Maybe if we need it, we'll leave it. They just leave only one button specifically for the doctor creating a new appointment. Okay, so now down here, we're just going to have to divide this into two. Okay, you have to divide this into two down here. Now these icons have a certain color, but since we just use this here, a black layout, I like that layout of whereby things are using gray and black. You're not going to make it this fancy with colors. You could just go ahead and put those colors though. So just go ahead and put this. Now this, to my understanding, it has to be a scroll area because these are going to be so many. So alternatively, it could be like he has to scroll down like this. Alternatively, he has only to scroll only this place only, which is a good thing. So I'm just going to have a grid. Okay, I will just have now to go back here on the panels. Okay, so for the panels, we're just going to create a grid. So you're just going to have a grid dot grid cores 2, and then here just going to have the two panels. Okay, here we'll have the two panels. So this left panel, so we'll have the left panel or the list panel. Okay, so the list panel is going to be a scroll. So inside this, I'm just going to create a list panel. Inside the, maybe here, doctor, I'm just going to say list panel. The word panel is the TSX RFC. Okay, so we have this list panel, and this is going to use a scroll area. Okay, this is going to use a scroll area from shad. Just go to scroll area, and then you have the scroll area, just like that. So we could just go here and you can install it if you don't already have it, but we already have it since we had it in the header. So I'm just going to go ahead and just simply copy some of this. Let me just copy this. We shall just quickly change this, but let me just put this here. And then let me just go and copy the return, this scroll area. So just create a scroll area, and we just return this, this here, this scroll area. Okay, so it is just here doing this, and then there they are putting the maps here. So here we're just going to have these appointments. For now, if I just bring this list panel, put it on the page, uh, this page of the appointments. So you can just come here and just get this list panel. Okay. Uh, you can see it is here, and you can see you can scroll. Okay, so I'm just going to first of all change this. We don't even need this heading, so I'm just going to go to the list panel, try to change this. I can remove this heading, and maybe you can just leave this, but we can just like put this padding. So I'm just going to cut this like that. Now this, we should just give it width is full. Okay, for the height, we can specify whatever one. Yeah, so you can see the width full will have this up to here. Maybe since this is a list, we could just give it slightly like not to occupy the same as the display. So for the list, they just go and limit it. I'm just going to go back to the grid here. Where is the grid? So here in the grid, alternatively, you can just make it occupy 12. And then here on this list panel, we could just go ahead and make it to say core span. So I'm just going to just say core span, maybe 4, just like this. And then this other one, we just have to occupy the core span 12. Okay, just like this, not 12 but 8. Okay, to come up with this. So now if you just go back, this will actually have to reduce to this point. Okay, so I'm also going to go ahead in the list panel. You could just go ahead and give this a px maybe of 3 to avoid touching on this here. Oh, it has to be within the scroll area. Maybe we just go and put it on. I just have to put it onto this. Maybe px of 3. Avoid touching. Yeah, just like this. And also py or maybe also 3 or something. Okay, so this is great. We're just going to go ahead and remove the border. Do we need the borders on this? I'm just going to go and remove the roundness here. There's no need of this border and roundness. This px is also not needed. Okay, great. So we have started really designing each individual card here on the appointment. This card. So the card has the type of meeting and blah blah like this. Okay, so just going to design one card, and then it has a hover, which actually these are links. So I'm just going to start by making this a link. So inside here, I'm just going to remove this. I'm just going to design this as a link and give it a href. Okay, make sure you get the link from next link. So inside this link, let's start designing it. It has almost 2 sections, like 2 columns. So if you look it at closely, we have the first text, the name and time in the same row. So you just have the first flex, we have the name H2, which for instance, this is William Lassen. So just say here, William Lassen. And then we have the time. So we have, for instance, who just say span 4 p.m. Okay, just like that. And then down is where we have other things. So down we have other things. We have the follow-up and the exam. So we just have here this. Also another flex, which have maybe the they have a dot from Lucid, and then follow up, span, follow up. And I'm just going to go ahead and put these also in the same small flex. Okay. So similarly, we have another thing here. Just duplicate this. So this is, wait, save this, and I just want to duplicate this. So you have now exam or something. I don't know what icon is that even. I don't know. Okay, let me just going to go ahead and just add this one of these icons here. You don't need really to make it a, maybe we just create this briefcase medical. So just come here and just say briefcase. Okay, so there is the briefcase. Just use that one. And then this is, for instance, exam. Okay. So let's just see what this one looks like. If we just go and see here. Okay, so far this is how it looks like. Very much terrible. So I'm just going to go ahead and give a class name to this. First of all, it has to have, let's start by giving it a border seed, and then text. This one has to be maybe extra small for now. Let's just see. Okay. Okay, so you're having it mapped, which is okay, great. Then can I have this BG slate 100, and I just want to use this to see what is going on. Okay. Can I just give padding y of 3, px of 2? I'm not sure of what is going on. 4 p.m. has to be, maybe this we make it to be inline flex, or inline block, something like that. Was the Yeah, so this is the behavior we want. Okay, so I'm just going to give it. I don't know why it is not occupied. Is that the width we gave it? No, the width reaches actually here. So why is it limiting it to this? Why is it limiting to that? Mm, why is it limiting to that? Mm, and we are mapping onto this. Is it we're supposed to have, for instance, tags is array, length is okay. So we're supposed to have, let me first remove this map here. Okay. So length dot from can take in another thing here, which is underscore, and I think with index, and then we can just go ahead and return. Okay. For instance, we can return, let's say, an appointment as an ID, okay, of index plus one, I plus one, and then we can have, for instance, the names. So you're just going to have, for instance, name of the person to have, for instance, we could just say name one. In fact, name with index, just for purposes of testing. Here I plus one. Okay, so you could just come and you access it here if you wanted. As simple as that. Let's first see. This doesn't change anything, anyways. And just see if we give this with this full, does it do any magic? Oh, yeah. Okay, so then this one you have to give it just 5 between items center. Okay, okay, great. So instead, we're just going to separate them. Who put we have the border. Okay, the border I put on them makes sense. So we're just going to go ahead and have a margin bottom, like of 2. Then for the border, you just say border gray 100. I just really don't want the border, and then the shadow to be SM. Okay, just like that. Now for these other ones, the follow-up. I'm just going to give them just simply gap for now. Items center, then let's give them a gap. And then we can just go ahead and work on this briefcase thing. Okay. And then of course it is supposed to have a margin right of 2. Okay. So far that's great. I'm just going to go back and make them this border BG. We could make it 50 though, and we see if this is fit. Okay, then for the height, this height here, we just say height full or height screen. I'm not sure which one is better. It makes it scroll, so you have to give it a fixed height, I guess. About 100%. This also will scroll, I guess. That's full. This will also make it scroll exactly the same thing. Yeah. So just go ahead and say H. We have to have a specific height. Maybe you could just say they had given it 72. How about 80 something? Okay, just give it more. Maybe 90 something. I think it's 96. Okay, I think that is much better. So now we can scroll through the things, and these are also links. Okay, which is I think great. Let's make it rounded. Okay, and for the BG, I might just go with white. Okay. Then I'm just going to push this a little bit. So this one, I'll just say padding bottom of 2. Okay. So we have this looking great, according to me, a list of appointments. We can have an appointment of William Larson, and then when we click, so we have also this site. Let's work on that side. Putting this card and okay. So let me just go ahead and do that. So in our page, here we have the list panel, and then of course we have this display panel. Okay, we have the display panel, and for now just going to add in this uh, you're just going to add in this maybe what can I say, the new appointment something card. Okay, so I'm just going to go here and create another one inside the doctor. Okay, I'm just going to say display. Maybe just create a display card because display card. Maybe we just will call it home display card. It is going to be home display card, and then RFC. Why I'm calling it home, just like because it's going to be for this the home or the first screen, the list screen. So it has, if you look at it, it has an icon and then it has all this text. Okay, it has two paragraphs and a button. Okay, so here we have the calendar icon. Okay, and then below it we have a p tag, and then we also have another p tag. So we have this, we have another p tag, and finally we have another button. Okay, now I feel like this new appointment or the new button should be created specifically the as a reusable component because you're going to use it in multiple places. I think it is much better if we create it as a component. So in here, I'm just going to say create new the new button .tsx. So simply go to the home display list panel header here. So this actually just going to copy this, sorry, Control C, and just come here and say RFC. Just simply return this. Uh, Plus, so yes, it's going to be taking into things the title and the href. Okay, title and href. Just go ahead and give this title the string. Okay, and then also href is a string. Okay, and just come here, just give it title. And then of course, we're just going to go ahead inside here, put as child, and then inside here, I'm just going to add a link from next link. And then inside here, I'm just going to add whatever was here. And then just say here, href is equal to href. Okay, something like this. I'm just going to go ahead and get this button. So new button. We just take it the home display and just here, just going to say new button. And let's pass in the title. Is going to be new appointment. New appointment. And then the href for now. Let's put hash. Copy this. And let's take it to this home display. Or the panel header somewhere here. Just replace it with this. Okay. So if now we have to bring in this home display card, just get this and let's take it to the page, I guess. So taking this to the page here. Okay. So now it's check. Okay, so we have this here, not looking fancy, but just going to center it. And I feel like this is so much brutal. We could just make it outline just in a second. But let's first make this maybe in the center for now. So could just come here and put all this in the center. So can you see the flex, the items center and dot justify center and just add this and see. Okay, so this we need to have a min height. So if we just add a min height of screen, this will definitely move into the center, I guess. No, yeah. And let's just work on them to look. Maybe we could just like really not put them into that. Um, how about a half? What does this mean even? Is it existing? If we just say height a half, okay, that's a better position. Um, First of all, we need to put everything in the center. So just gonna say class. Okay, text center. Okay, we could just also use first of all this. Let's make this a card, something. It has a border. It has shadow surrounded. Okay. Let's give it some padding. PX03. Yeah, why is PX not working? Okay. Fact PX of 6. Okay, and they just have maybe flex call. And just going to have items center. Okay, and this also give them a gap. Okay, so you could just of course remove a gap and use padding on each of these. Okay, so we could just go and below these two p tags, we could just give them padding y of 3, and that would solve our problem. Okay, so we just also have text for the kind. So here you see how text is m. Okay, so then this button, we could just go ahead and make it in the new button. We could also just give it a variant of outline, just to look not very sharp like this. Yeah, so there we go. So this is the list layout. We are done with this list layout. You can see I like this, the scroll, and the fact you can just click. Now we have the detailed page. Okay, so if you just click on one this, it takes you to the detailed page. So to create the detailed page of appointments, of course, inside the appointments, we'll have for instance, uh, we could just have it in view because we also have the update. Okay, so just right now put yes, just have view. I feel like it is going to be better like that way. And then inside here we put ID. Okay. And inside the ID we can just go and put page TSX like this. RFC is equal to, so H2 is appointment detailed page, appointment details page. And to go there, you see you need to go to appointments, view, and then you have one, the ID. So if you just go to the list panel, you could just go easily, and we just put here on this, we put href for now is going to be equal to, for instance, go to appointments. Is it like we start from the dashboard? Let me see. So to go to that, we need to go to view one. Okay, view one. So I'm just going to copy this. Okay, I'm just going to copy all this here. Appointments, view one. So it will be like view one, then like update one, just for consistency. Okay, so now if we come here and we click, it takes us here. But now we want to maintain the same layout. Okay, we want to maintain the same exact layout. Okay, but of course it will change a few things. If you look at the original one, if you click on this, it has almost the same layout, but somehow really different. Okay, so we might just need to go here and copy exactly the same thing. Okay, so here in this page, I will just go ahead and copy everything here, put it in here. Okay, just like this. If you still go now to the detailed page, where if I click here, we go the detailed page with the same display. So basically what we want to change is want to add this part here. Okay, I don't feel like we change everything like the way he did here, like this stops here. Mm, um, it has a different header altogether. I think supposed to have this here, starting with these panels he has here. This here, I don't know if this header is necessary, because in that we could just put in something else, any other maybe, we could put in any other details or any other button, I guess. Here is having a very interesting button for taking off one of these panels. Okay. Hmm. You just need to get just to still looking the simpler version of this. Okay. If you look at the example they have here for them, they have this. You can doctor delete this nose, move to trash, move to junk, archive. Clearly, we need to separate this, I guess. Separate that header into the left side. It might be part of the left panel. Okay, so now we're going to do this is on the detailed page. We need to see the details of this person. Let me just see this. I feel like on the header we should just put the detail of this person. And I don't know how we are going to be picking these details. You can also see that they have a scroll here. They have a scroll, and then we have this panel which is static, which can go away. Then you remain with this. Or we could just even just make it a two layout panel just like this. Okay, so there is this. whereby doctor can write some message. Okay, that's good. Um, so I'm just going to opt out for this layout whereby we have William Larson and some simple details here. So maybe in the that one was going to be in the header. Okay. But as we said, this maybe we might just need to distinguish this header. What is the best way to handle that? So the best way would be if you look at all others tasks. If you just go on the detail page, you see it has this on the other panel, and it has this on the other panel. So I guess in the whole sense would have made it like this. Okay, would have made it like this with the left, and then we have this right, and you can see we will have it, I think, like this. Also, you have these details, and then you have the buttons in the details tab. Yeah, I think we're just going to have it just like that. So I have to redesign a little bit on this. What that one means is that this has to be the panel header is part of this grid. Okay, so instead in the grid we have to have these. This panel is going to be inside here. Okay, and for that case is going to be just a header only containing maybe this, and then this new button is not going to be there. Okay, so I can copy the same thing. First copy this here, copy this, and then let's go ahead and remove this. So right now if we just come back, no. Let me just go ahead and quickly go back this side. Where are we changing? First of all, we are changing it on the detailed page. Okay. So panel header is inside this grid, not this one. It is inside this. Just move it here. Yeah, just here like this. And then the same panel is going to be here. So even here, we'll have this, and I'm just going to remove this. Okay, this here. Okay, so it's supposed to have also maybe another border on this. Let me see if I remove all these px and py, also the px. Let me see what happens. Okay, so even on this column, I'm just going to remove px. I want them to meet first. Okay, so something is not right for the, just go to this one. Does it have, there is px. Let me first remove all the px. Okay, actually px is not a problem. If you think about it, px is not a problem. Okay. So here, maybe just give it a margin bottom of 2. Push a little bit this down, the appointments. I don't know why this one is slightly above, slightly below this side. Okay. And let me just also go back to this appointments. Let me put back the px. Okay. So we have this. Now, on this other part, I don't know why it is slightly, there is no where we have anything to do is marginal bottom right. We don't have. So we might just need to just do justify. So item center, justify this not end. Does have justify end? Yeah, to push it to the other side. And we can also still put the px. Okay. Now it is seems to be hanging, which I think we can solve it by putting a border. We can put a border on this border right, and to be border gray 100. Okay, so this is great. So this one should also be reaching here. What is stopping it is what? Is it padding? So border right, it can't be px, right? Let me see. Yeah, it is actually just the px. So right now this is much better. However much they don't meet on the same line, but they all touch this midpoint, which actually I think looks great. Then to the list panel, I could just give it a slight px. Okay, just to give it this slight difference. Okay, so I'm just going to copy the same thing to the back to the page. Okay, so if you just click on appointments on the page, we have the same thing. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to this view. We have to change some things. For instance, on this the the button changes and most of the things changes. Okay, even the whatever we display inside here changes. Here, just going to put these two examples here for looking up to them. Let's go back to appointments. William Larson. So I'm just going to take this display here where he has this header, and then you have some information about. Now we don't know much about this information for the patient. Which type of information should we be asking the patient, more especially on boarding? Okay, but list the layout. I'm just going to change here onto this. Instead of the display card, we'll have, for instance, the detailed card. But for now, let me just put H2 saying the patient details. Okay. Yes, I put patient details for the purposes of knowing that we are on the detailed page. And I might be not actually on the detailed page right now. Detailed page is here. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove this. Put dot, and then say just going to put detailed page. Okay. Just going to have the detailed page on here, and we can put whatever we want at this point, and we only have one side to change, which is great. Okay, so for instance here we can put any other button or a list of buttons according to how we want. For instance, if you look at what they put here, I don't know if a doctor is meant to delete patients conversation. I don't think. Okay. For now, just going to be having this. You can have also the date and time, meeting tomorrow, blah blah. Actually, this one is good. We might just use this layout for now. Might just use this layout for now. So at least we have this detailed page now. Of course, this one they will have the different links, and now we have to also check to activate this to put a border. Okay, to put a border when we go to this view to know which one is selected. Okay, so I think for now we're just going to leave like this. I'm just still looking. We have to do this for all the pages. Okay, we'll do this for all the pages, and then we'll see how we'll handle that. What to put on the detailed page and how to handle the detailed page. I think at this point we should just add uh, appointments, like really making appointments, like a person going on the page and they try to make appointment, and then we shall also just work on these settings where the doctor can add the availability, and then after setting the availability we'll have to go ahead and make the appointment. So in the next video we'll have to work on the availability. Before we go ahead designing this UI, we haven't known the information we need from the meeting. So after knowing the information, at least right now, we have laid the ground where we can add our details on this page. Then later on, we start to see how we are going to handle uh, appointments plus the availability. So coming up next in the next episode. See you